So if you want to set up a serviced accommodation business, I'm going to take you through 7 very simple steps that you can take to actually set up completely and be fully compliant. Now, a lot of people, a lot of trainers will try to make it sound like this is something that is so complex, right? That you need a lot of help to actually do. The truth is, it really isn't that complex, but you just don't know what you don't know. But what I'm going to do is I'm not going to miss out anything. I'm literally going to go from top to bottom, exactly what you need to be fully compliant, to be visible. And some of it actually, it doesn't matter whether it's property or not. This is just things that you need to do if you're going to open up a business. Anyway, so let's get into this. The very first step when you're setting up any business is actually do a name search. You would be surprised. This is such a painstaking process. You think no one has thought about this name before. You go out there, you try to register the name and it's already taken. You're like, no one has thought about this, surely not. But they have, right? So before you start getting attached to any names, make sure you're searching to make sure the name is actually available. So that is the very, very first thing. The second thing is then domain availability. Is that domain available? Because you don't want a name that you can't own the domain for. If you've got a business name, then you want to be able to have a domain that is connected to that business, a domain that matches that business name as well. So this is something that you absolutely want to make sure of. So once you've secured the name that you're happy with and it's available, the next thing you want to do is to make sure the domain itself is available. Step number 3. A business address. Now look, this is something that is so subtle but so important. Sometimes people feel that they can just use their home address, and you can do, but it then makes your home address visible. Someone actually searches you, the address for your business is actually your home address. It's just too visible, right? But also it's not as professional. So when you're going out there, you're trying to build credibility with agents and with other businesses, then they want to see that you have a corporate feel to you. So when they're checking you out, it should be an office address as well. And the beauty of that means you can then register that business anywhere. You can register in a swanky location with a swanky address, even if you're not operating out of the address, but it's going to give you that big company feel. So super important. Step number 4, actually registering your business. Now, there's 2 ways you can do this. You can either go through the process yourself. It's very, very simple. You go into Companies House and you just follow the steps on Companies House to register your business. Very simple. The other thing you can do is actually pay companies. There are companies that just ask you a set of questionnaires, based around the business, and then they will go out there and they will actually just register your business for you on your behalf. So that's a lot simpler, but that's something that you have to pay for. So if you don't want to pay, then you can just simply go into Companies House, register a business, click on start, and then just follow the process, right? So that's step number 4, registering the business itself. Of course, you need to register a business. A lot of people within this service accommodation space, because it's kind of easy to make money and it's kind of easy to get started, people just go and get started without putting these things in place, without even having a proper business registered. It's not the way to do things, because a lot of these agents are now used to it, and the very first thing they will actually do is check you out to see if you're a proper company. And if you're not, then the opportunity is gone. And you can't make a good first impression twice. So just make sure you do things right the first time. Step number 5 is the protection schemes. There are 2 protection schemes. If you're going to be doing anything within property space, whether that is being a letting agent, an estate agent, a property management company, a service accommodation provider, you have to be under one of these 2 protection schemes. So one of them is the PRS, which is the property redress scheme. So that's PRS. And then the second one is the property ombudsman, which you probably see, I feel, a lot more. You see them on these estate agency windows, but it's one of the 2. Either one is good. So you can either go for PRS or you can go for the property ombudsman, but you need and have to be registered with one of these 2 redress schemes. And then number 6 is insurances. Now, there are 4 key insurances that you need to have as a serviced accommodation provider. Now, the very first one is, public liability. Okay, the next one is private indemnity. The third one, you don't really have to have, but once you start to scale, then you want to get this in place as well, which is the employer's insurance. Okay, so that's when you bring in employees, you want to have that insurance for them as well. And then the fourth one, which is more specific to service accommodation providers, is having content insurance specific to every single new property that you take on as well. So these are the 4 key insurances that you need to have as a service accommodation provider. And then number 7, quite simply, have a website, have a presence. People want to check you out, they can see you, right? You can also have that website for guests to book directly, because when guests are booking directly, you're actually saving on fees as opposed to them going to Airbnb and booking.com. And you might be thinking right now, how am I going to attract people to my own website without Airbnb booking.com? Trust me, you will get there. But also, it gives you a visual presence. So if an investor wants to check you out, they can actually see that you're visible, right? If an agent who you're trying to build a relationship wants to check you out, they can also see that you're visible. These are very simple steps. These 7 simple steps, once you actually get this in place, you're ready to start trading. You're ready to get the business going. So just go and do it. Go and make it happen. 7 very simple steps that you need to set up as a service accommodation business. Make sure you do this. Do not skip any one of these steps, because then you're lacking something. And in this business, you need every single edge that you can get. So look, that's it for this video. I hope it's been very, very useful to you. If you like more content like this, then do subscribe to the channel and hit the bell button for notification when we release more content like this. This is pretty much, a service accommodation channel. That's exactly what I do for my business. And I just want to give you all of the information that you need to go out there and start to have the same level of success in your businesses as well. And I will see you all on the other video.